NASCAR.
Yeah, hit start streaming. We'll see what happens.
This year we're going to Super Bowl.
Are we live?
Jasper, it's working. I think. Let me see what it looks like. It's got to pop. Hey, we're live.
Hey, we're live.
Welcome to
We're live.
Xbox Ultimate Podcast. I don't know if you can hear me right now. Jasper is running the stream for us, and that's why you don't see our beautiful work that Caitlin
I
does.
can hear you. Can hear you.
Okay.
You're good.
We're good.
Is the audio like good? Cause
Yeah. Let us. I'm really low.
It seems low. It seems low.
Okay.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I can crank it up.
Well,
I turned it up a little bit in
tweaking
OBS to
stuff.
see if that fixes it.
Is that better? Can y'all
Actually,
hear me?
it sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
Wow.
All right, everybody. Well, I think this is going to work. We just ran through the gamut trying to get this shit to work. Thanks, Jasper, for letting me hijack your internet. For hosting the show. But we're here. This is Xbox Ultimate Podcast episode 153. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in to the original 2 minutes of the first show attempt, and then kept hopping back into our chats as we kept posting new events, trying to get this shit rolling. I guess 4th or 5th time's a charm or whatever, but we're here. We are live. Thank you for tuning in, and we're gonna do this show. So we got a lot to talk about today, and we had some fun small talk that was ruined before,
Yes.
So
Yes.
it is what it is. Thanks to everybody who has been tuning in though to the streams. Like last night, did do the Starfield stream because I was hyped. Gaming's ruined for me. Blah blah blah. If you caught that already, yeah, we're rehashing. But this chat is incredible. Thank you guys for keep hopping back. We're already back up to 43 people in the chat, which is crazy. But yes, Xbox Ultimate Podcast 153. We do have a special guest today as well, and this is a very weird first appearance for
It's all his fault.
Yeah.
It's his fault.
Yeah.
You gotta
So,
connect to those West Coast people.
we honestly haven't had these issues in a long time, but you know what? When you have a guest, it's like usually when shit goes wrong, right? But we do have a very special guest today. It is the one and only the Dusty Uno who is joining us, and he has a G-Wave podcast and G-Wave TV actually, and I do have his YouTube channel in the description below. Many of y'all have seen him in the chats for a long time here on our channel as well, but he has a podcast is getting kicked back up. I've been able to catch it. I think it's really good. So hey, decided, hey, let's get Dusty here on the show. So welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast, Dusty. How's it going, man?
Hey, what up, guys? Before everything else, I just want to say this is actually a big bucket list for me, and I didn't want to say this before the show because I wanted to say it on the show. Ever since I started watching Boom and finding all of you through Boom, and that was the beginning of lockdown, right? I found you and Pong, I found Fuzzy, Psycho in the chat at first. Eventually I would see Jasper over time, and it was just these were the people in the podcast community, let alone the gaming community, that I really wanted to connect with. So for me, I had a list of people I wanted to be on a show with, whether it was my show or their show, whatever. I just wanted to do what I could so I could finally get on there. And that's literally everybody on the panel tonight. So I just want to say much love to everybody. And this is a good moment for me. It's meaningful. That's why Wednesday I was bummed when I couldn't do my show, Mav, because having you on the show was a meaningful moment for me as well. That was a bucket list moment. So I just want to say I'm happy to finally be here, and let's, shoot the shiz and, talk some gaming.
Yeah, man. And it's an honor to have you here, bro. Appreciate you. Such kind words as well. It was fun podcasting with you impromptu on Boom Show as well, because you kind of hopped in there. And I guess I'll be on your show on Wednesday this week. We're supposed to do it last week, but you had some stuff going on at work and stuff. But we'll do that on Wednesday, and looking forward to it. Let's just get to the regular panel here. I'll start with Jasper because he saved the day. What's up, Jasper? How you doing, bro?
It's different today. I don't know if that's just because I'm streaming your show now for you, but
Yeah.
it's going pretty good. And I'm kind of like you. I'm in the mood where no game is holding my attention, so I'm just not playing anything right now. I don't think
you picked up Armored Core, right?
No, I didn't pick up Armored Core.
Oh, I thought you picked it up last night.
I made a
saw,
joke
like,
that I was playing Ace Combat Fires
okay.
of Liberty or whatever the fuck it was called. It's like the same
Right.
abbreviation.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were being serious for a second. I was like, oh, does he being real? But yeah, dude, it's like gaming's ruined right now. It's 6 more days though, and it'll be handled, right? How you doing, Psycho?
I am doing fantastic. How is everyone doing tonight? Sorry for the little hiccup there, but we are now live. Glad that we be able to talk about what's been going on in gaming. I've been working a lot, so I haven't been gaming too much other than Everspace, and I finished Firewatch. That was a great little indie game. Check it out if you haven't. Good little story. Kind of a little bit of a twist at the end there, but it's great. And awesome that we're on Dusty's bingo card. And
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
being able to able to fulfill that for him is fantastic. And let's get this show going so we can see what we got going on.
Yeah, I was wondering where you're going with that there. What's up, Fuzzy? How's it going, man?
I didn't know. That's why I was rambling.
I got
can
it.
tell.
I got it.
Yeah. And you just got to speak Psycho, right?
Yeah. Well, you just need a couple things, but
just need a couple things.
Yeah,
I think we're on the same wavelength.
Some
I
edibles, you know.
Yeah.
some num nums, you know.
Yeah,
It's all good.
Fuzzy, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here. You know, 4th time's a charm. We're ready to do this. Glad we got Dusty on here as well. Man, we got so much excitement ready to, you know, talk about and stuff like that, man. Xbox Unstoppable. Let's do this.
Let's go. The one and only Pong Soul. What's up, man?
Well. We finally made it, folks. We are here, and we have a freaking amazing guest tonight. That's right, the one and only Dusty. Great to have you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, things kind of went awry there, but that's the usual. Mav spills his animal cracker crumbs everywhere, and then shit goes wrong. So,
I should have been eating them next to the modem. What can I say?
No, you should not have.
I love animal crackers.
Not his kind of animal crackers, please.
Which ones?
No.
Which ones?
Don't do Dusty.
Which ones?
The originals, like the
What,
ones
frosted?
like with the
Frosted?
Or just plain?
both.
Iced.
No, both.
I go with iced. I can't do frosted.
Iced and
All right.
original, but the
Okay.
original has to be the ones with the carriage on the box.
Right. The
Yeah.
ones that look like cages with the animals.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are Barnums.
Yes. Yes.
But-
and
Not the
figurines, you know what I'm
generic
saying?
cardboard that Mav is eating, which costs
From-
50 cents for
from
10,000. Right.
Yeah.
That's not the good stuff. Anyway.
Speaking of cardboard, are you done with your outro? Paul? I mean,
Outro. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go. I got
let's
some
get
Armored Core
everybody
6 to
outta
play.
here.
Let's get everybody out of here. It's been great. Thank you all for
If
finding us.
anybody has an Armored Core 6
listen.
code, throw it my way in the DMs.
Listen, e-begging. Look at this already. He's a pro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow. Let's go. I got a channel you should probably go guest on for that. You could probably sell
Hey.
some coffee if you really wanted to. Let's see here. Anyways, it's Friday night, everybody. We're gonna have a good time. I'm kind of in the same boat as Mav and other people are with Starfield, but I did pick up Armored Core 6, played it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours last night. Jumped into Steel's stream, invaded it, and Armored Core 6 is the real deal. From has knocked it out of the park yet again. They are at peak right now with their gaming. Is it going to blow your minds? No, it's not going to blow your minds, but damn if that game isn't smooth. The controls are freaking amazing, and it's mechs, everybody. It's mechs. We don't get enough mech games. That game is a blast, so go enjoy it. But we do have a lot to get into. We want to be out of here before 2 o'clock in the morning, so let's get down to business. Let's do this.
We'll get out of here like 1:50.
Oh, thanks. Well, it's
Yeah.
before 2.
Well, I'm ending
Yeah.
the show tonight, so we'll see how long that goes.
That's true. Jasper.
Shout
I'll send
out
you
to-
the signal in the DMs,
Okay.
Jasper. You just cut it.
Shout out to Risk It for the Biscuit for sending his viewers our way, bro. Like that YouTube raid stuff. I got to figure out how to do it, man. But appreciate that. Xbox International Podcast, absolutely awesome. I was hanging out in their chat earlier, watching the show, and
Shout out to Risk
awesome
It.
guys over there. So thanks for doing that, man. I got to tell me how, teach me the ways. But speaking of two things, bucket list and cardboard. Okay, so we're on this.
Would you get a Nintendo Switch again?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I have one, but like that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh,
So I've had this bucket list thing, right? Because this place seemed like it was made for me, right? Recently,
Oh, okay.
in Dallas, Fort Worth, we have opened a Portillo's.
oh, I thought you were gonna talk about the Bunny Ranch.
And this restaurant, it's like it just seemed like it was made for me. So I was so excited. I was like, one day maybe they'll open one here,
Pong's just
and they
muted his
finally did it. You know, hold on,
So
hold on. So your bucket list thing. I was like, oh my god, this place is like known for its hot dogs. I'm a hot dog lover. You know, they got like
Tortillas?
beef sandwiches.
I thought they were known
yeah.
for their hamburgers with like mushrooms on it or some shit.
No,
No,
they're known
they're
for they
hot
got
dogs.
like charbroiled
We've had them
burgers,
forever. Yeah.
beef sandwiches. You know, they got all this stuff. And I was like, oh my god, that menu is like amazing. Everybody's hyping it. You know, people like, oh, Portillo's is the best place in the world and stuff. Or like, and yeah, I'm an easy.
Yeah, Steele. He loves wieners.
I do. I love chili dogs. I love hot dogs. I love chili dogs. I love hot dogs.
Oh my God.
Right. So it was like a thing. And today we were close. It's like 45 minutes away from me, but today we happen to be close to it. So like, you know what? We're gonna do this thing. I gotta start out and say amazing atmosphere, big, nice, beautiful fast food restaurant, whatever. Great service was amazing. You know, the food came out fast. They got us the food that we ordered, which is plus if you order food from anywhere these days. But they forgot one thing. The fucking flavor. What the hell was that I ate?
I like how Dusty's on a limited time and we're talking about food for 35 minutes.
It's fine. No, I already decided I'm staying till 9:30. Like, this is way too good.
So
an hour late, my app starts with hot dogs.
I was planning on doing this tonight. So I gotta say, like the Italian beef, like it was one molecule away from being that brown paper towel out of the bathroom soaked in water.
Oh,
no. It was fucking gross, man. Where was the flavor? It didn't taste like anything.
I don't like tortillas. Sorry.
The charbroiled burger, I was like, oh, I'm excited to eat this, man. Burger King is better, dude, and that's not saying much.
Oh,
and then the hot dog. If you want to taste like a bloated piece of meat that just tastes like water, go for that. Just saying.
They must be sending all the leftover food down south because up here this way it's pretty good.
I ain't.
Me and Fuzzy were like,
I gotta, you know, maybe it's like a bootleg Portillo's or something. You know, it's like it's like not really the real thing because in Texas,
Portillo's is overhyped, and that's just a fact. Like being on the West Coast, we've had it forever, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that thing gives me a stomachache each and every time, and my manager keeps buying it for like lunch breaks and stuff, and I'm like, stop buying this crap. Like we have much better places. There's Panera bread.
I tell you, if anything has me worried about Starfield, it's the amount I had for Portillo's, if I'm saying it.
No, you're fine. It doesn't matter.
If it's all shit,
the hype I had for that compared to what I got, if my hype for Starfield disappoints me in the same way that Portillo's did, I'm gonna be devastated. I was a wreck the rest of the day. I was like, hey, this can't be. I was so excited. Anyway, it is what it is. You know, there's a million places to eat here in Texas. I think. Let me say this, Chicagoans, I love you guys. You guys are great, right? However, sometimes you don't necessarily need to take as much pride into stuff just because it's from there. Because that shit sucks ass, unless it's not the same thing that I had. I don't know. Just saying.
Are you saying that Munchin Booty is more flavorful than Portillo's?
Ooh.
Well, that would 100% be a fact, because I would imagine that would have some flavor. The best thing that I can
especially
say,
when you get corn with it, right?
I
didn't go there. No corn.
This is a gaming podcast, by the way.
Dusty,
I'm so excited for Starfield.
I am too. I gotta say,
Starfish.
Dusty, hold on.
Flavored water.
Real quick, Dusty. There's a lot of shows you can go on, right?
Yeah.
A lot of shows you can go on, right? And the host, you kind of want to agree with and kiss their ass. This is not one of those shows. Okay? So you're done for the night. You don't have to agree with him anymore. Okay, it's all right.
That's Psycho that has the predisposition to kiss asses. He talks about that quite a bit. However, hey, dude.
Yeah.
Like minds, right?
Good thing alike all the time. Yeah.
I'm eating booty, not kissing butt.
Booty would at least have some flavor.
If it's rocking everywhere, I mean.
If I'll say this, the one positive thing I can say about the food is that it doesn't leave a bad taste in your mouth, because it leaves absolutely no fucking taste in your mouth, period. Right?
Pause.
We're still on this.
Just saying. Okay, we'll move on. All right, let's get to some super chats real quick. Appreciate you, Jax82 with the $2. Says Xbox can't stop us, but the internet, you're screwed. No, Jasper saved the day. It said we can't be stopped.
Yeah, it's that Kentucky internet that's actually good now.
I guess so. I would rather had White Castle. I should have moved to Kentucky. Alvin with $10 with super chat. Appreciate you, Alvin. Says probably not a topic, but the AMD conference today is massive news. AMD AI frame gen coming to AMD GPUs and consoles, and Digital Foundry reportedly highly impressed. Hashtag stop stepping on the wires, dance and gym. All right on. Most consistent Xbot click with the $2 says pause, Mav.
Pause. Big pause.
There was a lot of pauses probably there. However, let's continue. So let's start with Dusty. I want to get some thoughts here from you, actually, because we were talking about the Starfield thing. Like, games ruined for me. I couldn't even stream a game last night. I just had to stream Starfield videos because that's all I wanted to do, right? So, like, how is it sitting with you with the hype for Starfield right now? Or is this like one of the most anticipated games, or where are you at?
Like, so, okay. We all remember, I don't want to think about the bad side of what happened with the launch of Cyberpunk. I want to think about how we all felt right before Cyberpunk dropped. We were all, like, everybody that was looking forward to it, it was, you could just feel the energy with everyone, right? And yeah, we know what happened, but with that example of how we all felt with the release of Cyberpunk before it finally dropped, that I feel like that right now, but like times 10, 100, whatever. Right. I literally stopped watching The Expanse because I started watching your stream because I wanted to watch more Starfield. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm rewatching The Expanse because, like, I'll be very honest, I keep saying this shit online and whatnot, but if you guys want a taste of what Starfield is going to be like from an RPG standpoint, from the perspective of different characters that you could play, that you can become yourself, watch The Expanse. I swear to God, when you get to episode 5 and 6, you'll understand why I'm saying that. It's such a good show. It's such a good show. Yeah. And it's actually a really, if you really think about like all the speculation that we've had for Starfield, right? Like the part of the trailer where he puts his hand out and everybody starts floating out of nowhere. And people are like, no, that's gravity. No, he's got space powers, bro. Watch The Expanse, please. Like there's literally, like The Expanse takes place in the future, right? There's literally a space freighter that flies by in one of the shots and it says FedEx on the side. Right. That's Starfield because it's us 200 years in the future. Literally, that's what this game is supposed to be. So that's what I've been doing. But then you went live last night and I was like, F that. You know, I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a pretty good night, even though it was a shitty day or a shitty week. And I just stopped the show and was joining the journey along with you, rewatching. You know, I'm glad you did your own breakdown of the Starfield Direct because I did my own. A lot of people done theirs and different shows and whatnot. And it was good to hear your perspective, even if you done it before, just to hear it again and watch you break down different sections. I was like, oh my God, please give me this game right now. And I don't know if you saw it in the chat, but I said, I knew they would never do this, but I wanted them to drop a Starfield demo where we could at least explore the first system.
Not even that, or just like build ships, like a shipbuilding demo.
Yeah,
just like get you ready for it.
Like a separate application to work on my first ship, please. Why not? But I get it. You know, you're supposed to go through the story and all of that. I get that.
Didn't
But that's what I
Cyberpunk
wanted.
have
you know?
like a character creator demo before the game
I know
came out?
They
Saints
did.
Row did. I don't remember if Cyberpunk did.
Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk did, or some people got to look at it first because I remember there was a lot of talk about the the man parts.
You mean upon
Right.
Genitalia.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, but I don't.
I just want everybody to know I was accurate. Anyway, so with that being said, Starfield was. I feel like we're all waiting for a brand new Star Wars movie before the prequel trilogies came out.
Right.
The whole. I don't know how to say it. It feels like everyone is so engaged about this. Like I said it before on my show that even people who are not gamers know about this game and they're like, I kind of need to look at this. Like, what is this? You know,
there's definitely people that are buying Xboxes also because of this. We've already had comments.
People are trading PS5s.
Yeah. Psycho knows about that a little bit. He was telling us in some of the DMs, some of the stuff that's going on. But yeah, it's like this different level of hype. I feel like in a weird way, even though Starfield wasn't technically at Gamescom, they did have the theater presentation. And with Todd being at opening night live and with the opening with the piano sequence there from Enon Zur and the
I'm so
whole
glad you played
music
that
stuff like that, all of that is kind of making it feel like in a weird way like Gamescom, like Starfield stole the show just because all the conversation is still about Starfield, right?
Well,
and there's so much other news too that came out, but like Starfield is like really it's what everybody's thinking about, it's what everybody's talking about. It's like on another level of hype than we've seen in a long time. Cyberpunk is the best example I can think of the last time we've had this. Cyberpunk didn't necessarily launch to everybody's standards, but the early impressions from the reviews on this is
the hype was
very
high.
different now.
The thing is with Cyberpunk though, Cyberpunk wasn't like a console war game after. Like everyone on every platform was after Cyberpunk, so there's like a different kind of like vibe right now with Starfield, just because you have that both audiences like fighting over. It's like you have the negative stuff and the positive stuff with it, even if it's bullshit. Like you didn't have
it's
that.
all stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like Xbox just was dominating Gamescom, period. Like if you see any of the footage from Gamescom or see anything, it looks like an Xbox show, right?
Oh, this was on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're dominating on purpose.
They had a huge presence there. There was a lot of Xbox creators there bringing us a lot of footage and stuff there. But it got so bad. Fuzzy, did you hear this?
You hear about this?
That I did
What
you
happened?
hear about?
What happened?
Did you hear about this, Fuzz? IGN was supposedly I think this came from Boxenberger. Was getting distracted from the Starfield presentation, that they were getting a little bit disturbed and wanted the volume to be turned down because every time the Starfield presentation went off, it was interrupting their stage stuff. And so supposedly Xbox turned that shit up.
I feel like that's just like a rumor that goes around though. Like I don't know if that's actually true.
It would
That
be
was Boxenberger was being serious.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It'd be funny if that's the case. I mean,
no, I really wouldn't be
considering all
surprised
their errors that they've been making lately and intentionally leaving listings off. Yeah, fuck those guys.
Dear IGN, it's not your show. Sorry, you were just hired to broadcast it. This is not your show. I'm sorry.
The center of the universe, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
That's they keep making more and more mistakes with Xbox, but I will give props to Destin Legary. He's like the lone bright spot, it seems like, of IGN these days. Because his Phil interview was absolutely excellent. We broke it down last night a little bit, Pong, with our 4-hour show almost. And Dustin, he brought the hard-hitting questions. You know, we got Series S questions on there. You know, he was asking about the lineup. You know, Phil had some great answers. You know, he's talking about lots of different things. But one of the things that stood out to me was Phil's confidence on the roadmap. And that's what the theme of this thumbnail is. If you saw on Twitter earlier.
Oh, you mean it's not that we can't get the show going?
No, it's not that. So I originally had asked Kate to make this dumb train one, like we're on a train and we can't be like a runaway train for Xbox or whatever. And she was, and we got home late because the whole Portillo's fiasco. We were so disappointed. But besides that, like we got home and she was like, "What do you want to thumbnail?" And she ran with this. This was all Kate. She came up with this herself. So if you're a Queen fan, you recognize that, which is absolutely awesome. So, but you can't stop Xbox now, man, because the confidence of the roadmap now, from where we're at, as far as release schedule and hitting the game per quarter. It's no longer the aspirations, it's the plan. It's roadmap. Is that, do you feel like that confidence is misplaced, Pong, or you feel like it's definitely a go now because we're already there?
Go. This is, I mean, like we talked about last night at PM to PM, we expected this last year, and it didn't happen, right? Last year was a debacle and a half, but we knew this was coming. Again, there's a lot of people out there that like to think that, you know, with the 20 plus studios that they currently have right now, that they're all just sitting around and painting their nails and talking on the phone and not working. Like we've been saying this from the beginning. They've got way too many studios, even without ABK. Those games are eventually going to be finished. Those games are going to come out, and it was going to be nonstop. In fact, you know, Booty alluded to it interview last year when he said the problem for us now is trying to find, you know, figure out where all these games will launch because they've got so many that are hitting. And when we talked about this year, when finally this year hit, man, we were looking at the year, we had our guesses. Do you remember when we had our show where we speculated about how many first party titles could come out this year? Remember that?
Yeah.
And I said 8, but I said easily 10 or more, right? And look where we're at. Like if you count, we are going to be very close to that this year. Like this is, and again, that's small, big, all, you know, everything in between. But the point being is that it was just a matter of time. That's all it was. And yes, the running joke was just wait till next year, just wait until E3. That was a running joke for Xbox, but legitimately now with the position that they're in and the amount of studios and talent that they have, it literally was just a waiting game. So now we're here. The Avalanche is starting. And once you start the Avalanche, it doesn't stop. It just keeps going. And that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what you heard Phil talking about. He doesn't say that lightly. Like he understands how critical people are of his words and what he says and what he doesn't say. And so for him to come out and say, no, this is now our plan. This is not just our vision anymore. I can't remember the exact word he used, but this is now our plan. That says to me that it's all lining up. And we've heard him say this before. We brought this up from one of his other interviews too. Was it the Kind of Funny interview? I think it was the Kind of Funny interview, wasn't it? It was one of the positive moments out of that. He is now for sure. He sees each and every single game. They can see them finishing. They got the time frames lined up. They are already talking about next year games, right? They already are talking about Hellblade 2 confidently. Like we know this stuff is coming. So no, they have every right to, at this time and point, especially after, like we said last night, man, the ABK deal put this huge anchor on the ship. They were moving. And then this ABK deal came and everything slowed to a crawl, almost a dead stop. And now they've cut that anchor because the ABK deal, everything's on the table. There's no more hiding. There's no more secrecy. There's no more, everything's out there. All the facts are out there, literally. So now they cut that anchor. Now it's full steam ahead. So they have every right to be confident right now. And I believe them. Again, there's, you know, sure, you can come and say, well, they've said this before, or they've said, hey, just wait till next year before, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but we're now at the tipping point. It's done and over with. Starfield is the start. Starfield is the start of not only the games, you know, that we've been expecting for a long time. Redfall should have been, but we know how that turned out. But Starfield is now the start. But it's not just about the amount of games. It's not just about the consistency of the roadmap going forward for at least the next 2 to 3 years. It's about the quality of games as well. And I think that that's the other part that's still a question mark for a lot of people. Obviously, they've got to prove a lot of people wrong still. in that category, but I think that that's what Starfield starts. That's been some of the hints coming out from people who are playing this, that really this is that moment that we all talked about, that this is where Xbox makes their mark starting this generation, and it starts a new era for Xbox with Starfield. And I think that we're going to find that out next week for everybody entering early access. So yeah, I think Phil's confidence is well placed right now.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of the quality comment you just made, and so also throw it back to Destin Legary. I think it was him that made a post that said the thing he came away most impressed with was actually Forza Motorsport.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is, and then also lots of high praise for Towerborne.
Yeah, but
from people
what
that
does
have
IG
played
know
it.
about quality?
Stalker
No.
2. I mean, again, even the third-party
Right.
titles, we know the problems they've had with third-party titles. It seems like their third-party deals, their second-party deals, whatever you want, the publishing, whatever you want to call them, those are starting to finally fall into place, right? As well. Again, if that's the case, look out. It's no stopping, man. No
Yeah.
stopping.
For sure. That you can't stop them now, bro. It's like once the Starfield hits, once Forza Motorsport hits, and then they have early Q1 for 2024, they have Stalker 2 and Game Pass day 1. Then next year we got Towerborne. You're gonna have the new flight simulator in there. You have Aura coming out. You have Avowed potentially next year. Hellblade 2 should be next year.
We could see Clockwork Revolution.
Clockwork
next year as well.
Revolution.
It could be the holiday one next year, I think.
I mean, these games are showing up and like competition. Do you think? I'm not saying like PlayStation is like doomed or anything like that, right? But I mean, they got to see this planned output from Xbox and feel like, how are we going to match this long term, right? Like short term, it's not necessarily too much of an issue because they're living on goodwill, good graces, right? They've had a lot of first party releases, even though a lot of them are sequels and using a lot of assets they already had, all that stuff. But quality games, great games, a lot of people love. But now it seems like they're hitting that lull, right?
Well, you can see
Spider-Man.
Sony right now, Matt.
Okay.
You can see Sony right now, right? They're launching overpriced accessories that aren't for anybody, and they're buying headphone companies. So I mean, they're obviously looking ahead and saying, "What are we going to do?" So they've already started their plans, Matt.
Yeah. The leader in headphone technology.
PlayStation. I think PlayStation will be all right with games. Like obviously they're at a down spot right now, but it's never going to be as bad.
I'll be
as,
all right with third-party games.
It will never be as bad as 2022 for Xbox or PlayStation because they've already got their games in the run. So
well, this year is
games?
pretty bad this year for PlayStation.
well,
like
they do have a
one
AAA game, so like
Yes.
you can't.
Yeah.
That's fair.
A triple A game one.
That's fair. They do have a game this year.
Big one.
How many do we anticipate next year?
It is, yes.
2. That's what they said in their earnings call.
Right.
They're
It was
gonna
A
do
lot of
2.
games are delayed, right?
Yeah, there's quite a bit that have been delayed. So I think right now PlayStation's biggest thing is trying to figure out how they can win over their fans with these games as a service. Like we all saw how that showcase was received. I don't think their audience is into that. So they're going to have to convince them to enjoy those games, or they're going to have to, hurry up and wrap up things like Ghost of Tsushima 2. Hopefully there's a Cory Barlog sci-fi game that's been rumored for how long in the
Not
actual
coming.
works.
Don't
kind
worry,
of
I'm sure
thing.
they'll sell you some remaster next year too.
Psycho, not coming.
No, the thing, all they got next year, truthfully, is the remaster of what was it?
The Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2 for PC and the Horizon Forbidden West.
I think I don't know if these will come out.
Zero Dawn,
I don't know
like
if these
a
will come out
remaster.
next year, but I'm pretty sure Fair Games and
No.
Concord had 2024 dates on them.
But you know
Well,
the community has got to be super hyped for that Bungie Gummy Bear game, right?
Well, that's like 6 years down the line anyway.
But I mean, they had the whatever the Naughty Dog game that was supposed to come out in 2022, and then that got
Factions?
delayed. Factions, and that and then it got delayed again. and now we don't even know what it's going to be, if it's even going to come out, or they're
Bungie
going
took
to
care of that for us.
go back and do whatever it is that they Bungie saw when they came in and said, yeah, no, this ain't it.
But the
So,
other aspect, Psycho, too, remember, even in comparison with what they have for next year, like if you add it to the equation, all these Xbox games are also in Game Pass day one. And then the ones on the competing platforms, you got to pay full price for, right?
All you need is the bundle.
Like
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
that adds a lot to it, right? I know this is your favorite subject. That's why I'm giving it to you.
no, yeah, and that's the thing, is that these, but you're getting a remake of a game that's not even 5 years old, and you're getting a port to PC, which the last port of the game was not very good. So is this going to have the same issues, or did they learn from those mistakes when they made that port? We don't know. But again, it's going to PC, not on the PlayStation. And that's the thing.
Psycho. Hold on.
What?
Do I need to remind you that they just had a massive exclusive launch? I mean, again, why does everybody do this? Firewall Ultra just dropped yesterday.
Fort Solace?
Port.
No.
Oh.
Firewall Ultra.
What the hell is that?
The
What is Firewall
VR,
Ultra?
the VR exclusive game, first party.
On the headset that everybody's trading in for a Series X.
We went through this because MBG laid out the roadmap. So let me remind you all the power of Sony right now.
They also got
in the
Baldur's
next
Gate
9
3.
months. Yeah, well, not anymore. Now that's not exclusive. So Firewall Ultra just dropped. You guys have seen it all over Twitter. I know you X. Okay, it's been all over X. Everybody's posting their VR stuff, right? That's
Pong,
obviously.
I swear,
Nothing but Starfield.
6 months ago. Months ago.
What, man?
I've never heard of this game.
Okay. Well, listen,
We
Asa
probably
over
covered it on Tidbits. I
Asa
don't even
covered
know.
it. He talked about his impressions today. He's the one person I did see posting about it. So again, there's that.
Because he's the only
So,
person I know.
Listen, now listen to this roadmap and tell me, Psycho. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to remind everybody where we're at. Firewall Ultra just dropped. Then you got Stellar Blade confirmed for 2023, according to MBG, although we haven't seen it. Nobody's confirmed it, but supposedly it's confirmed in the MBG, Sony insider that he is. So
in MBG we trust.
Yes, Helldivers 2 confirmed for 2023, which is a good one. Rumored for October, right? Spider-Man 2.
I'm
right?
excited
That's
for that
good.
one.
That one's good. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth confirmed early 2024, January through April, so they could come out anytime in there, right? And then Rise of the Ronin, right? Confirmed for 2024, rumored for early 2024, sometime in January, April.
So it's not that bad.
Maybe.
That's not that bad.
Like, I mean, that's a huge 9-month schedule right there, Psycho.
The ones that are wiggling are
deny it?
maybes.
Yeah, but again, those are not first party, and
I'm
that
sorry. I'm sorry.
no, and that's the thing. When Xbox had a bunch of third-party games coming to their platform, what was the ridicule that everyone got? You have no games, but we did have games to play. They just weren't that huge over the budget first-party games that we were promised.
Stellar
because
Blade
Xbox-
is kind of first party because it's published from PlayStation, but
that's
Rise of the
considered
Ronin is
second
not.
party.
That's whatever. If
second
it,
Well,
if we give like
okay, well then so is
Contraband or
High on Life.
No, High
and-
on Life wasn't published by Xbox. That's the difference.
No, they did publish it.
No, High on Life was not published by Xbox. That's the no they
No, they did.
no they didn't. It was
Yes,
just
they
what they no High on Life was not published by Xbox.
Someone
Yeah.
Google this so they can shut up.
I thought it really was. Okay.
No,
well,
High on Life was
Talk
not
to me.
Pong.
okay.
It's not.
What's
Was
the
High
other
on
one?
Life
Okay,
on-
thank you.
What's it? What was the other? The As Dusk
As Dust Falls.
As Dusk Falls. That I know
That-
that was published by Xbox.
Yes, that was published by
Yes.
Xbox.
Yes.
So we
That is correct.
so we got games again. Those games that what was it? Stellar Blade supposed to come to Xbox, but got money headed by PlayStation. And then the Helldivers. I don't know
It's gonna be a good game.
if the game is ready, cool.
gonna be-
If it's not, and they push it out, that'll probably be the last game that they'll make, because that's kind of Sony's thing. If you don't make, unless you're Guerrilla, you kind of get a pass. But other than that, it's one of those, like, look what happened to what is it, Days Gone. They can't make a sequel, and now they're a support studio.
They're making a new AAA game cycle. I don't know.
Yeah, you keep saying that, but we don't hear nothing about it. So it's
they've made like 3 blog posts about it.
Blog
game?
They don't have a name for it yet, but
exactly.
Project.
Yeah,
Project. It doesn't exist.
I wanted to.
Has this been enough PlayStation talk now?
Yes, I wanted to give Psycho the floor, but then he takes it a little too far.
Oh yeah, they got Abandoned. Don't forget Abandoned. That game is gonna be straight fire
Oh my God.
for the PS5.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that.
No,
game.
like some of the, here's the thing, like, yeah, they have some third-party games coming, right? Because that's what their idea is, to fill up their schedule, right? To fill up that's their answer. Where we're talking about how are they going to compete with this avalanche of first-party releases from Xbox? Well, their answer has been to money hat third-party games.
They don't have an answer.
Right?
All they have is
first party.
time.
They don't, right? First party, they don't. They're
reloading.
They're for the long.
Yeah.
Currently, it's short term. No, right? Will their
Yes.
live service games hit? Who knows, right?
I think some of them will, to be honest.
But the Bungie ones probably, right? I honestly have no faith in. I have no faith in Concord and what's the other game?
Fair Games.
Fair
They're
Games.
that great. You remember them. That's how
No,
amazing.
I'm saying those.
Well,
games,
you can't go off Mav's memory.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I know. I'm saying I don't have faith in those games because the teams aren't known for
Quantum
producing
Error.
big live service games, and it's hard for these games to succeed, right? And being exclusive to an ecosystem also makes it even harder. And what I don't have faith in is, like, if they have a rough start, for Sony to stick with those like Microsoft does and keep updating them, putting out content, like taking the L and then helping to still grow the games. They've had numerous successes like that on Xbox that have come back, and like Halo Infinite's in a resurgence right now. Sea of Thieves had the same kind of start, right, originally as well. So that Microsoft understands, like, if they keep putting stuff into it, I don't have faith in Sony. Like, for me, like, Sony may or more or less pull like a EA when a game kind of comes out and stumbles, right? To pull like an Anthem, right? Potentially, and that would be bad. Now, Square is the others talk about this, like they may have lost the potential for exclusivity new deals with Square Enix games, right? Because according to the conversations at Gamescom, Phil seemed like he's like, hey, you remember, it was not me that said that we want to bring more games to Xbox. It was the new Square Enix CEO that said that, right? The new president. So now whatever existing contracts they have is done. And that's why I think they worded that Final Fantasy 14 announcement when they talked about future games, the games we can bring to Xbox, we want to, right? So I think there's already ink that's dry, right? But the pipeline, it's going to get harder and harder for them to do those deals because it's going to get more expensive. Because the user base on Xbox is going to keep growing with Game Pass, and also consoles are going to start selling a little bit more and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Well, we'll see how many consoles they get out there. Right. I know is the stock increasing at the stores, Psycho, right now in
Amazon
preparation for Starfield?
All I can say is we have some.
Okay.
And by
Fair
some
enough.
is quite a bit.
Okay.
So no one's buying them.
Psycho's now an NDA, dude.
Yeah.
No, I just don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
can't answer,
No,
if you
I'm
can't
giving you a
answer-
hard time.
You saw Amazon, right?
That's all.
You
No.
saw Amazon is up like 800 to 1,000% or some shit on like Series X.
Yeah, well, if you only
right
sell
now.
one and you sell 10 in that week, that's 1,000% or whatever.
Let's get it. But that's 10
right.
new people, and then they tell 10 other people, and then so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
But I do see an uptick with Xbox consumer. I mean, I even had like all right. So I had like grandpas coming in and said, "Hey, you got that Starlight game?" And I'm like, "Starfield? Yeah." My grandson's talking about it. I want to pre-order from him. So I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of
Right on.
just casuals coming and asking about it. What's this Starfield game?
It's
I
not
mean?
possible. There hasn't been 3 months of marketing and there's no buses.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So there's
There
that's
is
impossible.
there's a bus now. It was
One
spotted
bus.
at Gamescom.
One
Let's
bus.
go.
One bus. Yes. Yes. Specifically at Gamescom. Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Well,
That Starfield bus looks amazing. Just
Yeah.
saying.
It's
There was the
actually the
energy drink
Firefall
bus.
bus. They just like took it to
They took all the
West
shit off
Coast-
the side.
They just took it back to
They
West
got-
Coast
they got it
Customs.
wrapped.
Yeah.
They got it wrapped. Yeah.
How much
And
would
that's
that? How much would that burn that Grum's fuck if it turned out to be the actual same bus that was like remodeled to be a Starfield?
Well, the
bus?
Starfield was
He doubled down on his bus after people posted the Starfield stuff to him. With the bus, he doubled down on that bus and talked about how amazing it was. And that bus was set up to replace conventions like E3.
Yeah.
That they could,
yeah.
it was a
Wow.
traveling convention because of how high tech it was. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
joking. He doubled down on it today.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
it
God.
replaced
He is a
gaming
delusional
convention.
fucking.
No,
idiot.
I'll be honest with you. Like all of this stuff he's been doing online lately.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he said that he doesn't qualify, excuse me, for the monetization through ads or whatever.
Sure.
But when he said that, one of the qualifications is having engagement to be
Correct.
able to start making money.
Correct.
So he's been doing this so he can get the engagement, so he can then qualify to say more stupid stuff and shit and finally get paid. Like, I honestly think he's in the hole from all of the money he blew.
Yeah.
And right now he's at a crossroads and he's realizing people are making money on Twitter X right now.
Mhm.
So he started doing this a couple of months ago. It's starting to gain traction. Now he's getting the engagement. So right now he's probably already qualified for making money, to be honest with you, because I think the engagement
Sure.
is 5 million.
That's why.
And he got
that's
that
why I don't give him
easily.
any.
Yeah. No,
easy.
with that one tweet, he got that easily. He should already be qualified. So as far as I'm concerned, this was all a plan to get qualified so he can finally start making money because he's in the hole.
Yeah,
He's struggling.
Well, it wouldn't surprise
And-
me. Guy, it seems like a disingenuous guy.
Yeah, but the sad part about it is he's low key and high note putting down other devs and companies and players and this and that. It's just like Grumbleton. This is not the way.
I mean,
Okay.
he's burning his bridges for the industry anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's
That's
why I
true.
think he's
Yeah.
doing it because he knows he can't come back. You know what I mean? Like he's like, well, what else I gotta lose? So I'm gonna just start doing this anyway.
Yeah,
And it's working.
yeah, fair enough. You know,
It's working.
But yeah, enough of that. Fuck. So there is lots of like I talked about like Gamescom. It feels like it was like heavily Xbox dominant there with
Yes.
this with the presentation that they put on with the green everywhere, bro. It's like you just like see all the pictures just green nonstop there.
Man.
But they have a there's a conversation that started and Jez actually said this. Jez said that he thinks Xbox should do their presentation at Gamescom next year. How would you with it being the actual predominant in-person show, like a huge turnout, opening night live turned out to be pretty solid as well this year.
I thought it was a good show.
How would y'all feel if Xbox didn't do it in June and actually waited and did their big presentation?
It's a little late in the
Gamescom.
year. It's a little late in the year.
Do both. Sorry.
Yeah.
I agree with that. They could, which is another point. Phil said that.
I mean, they could do a direct.
Oh,
like you
Jasper, don't
said.
do that.
Well, you fucking typed it. I had to move it.
He also said that they may like they're going to need to do more things
Yeah.
to show these games, right?
Absolutely.
So maybe next year we do get both, right? That wouldn't be
Man,
crazy.
it's weird if people would have started talking about that like 2 years ago, Mav, about how they needed more shows for all the stuff that they were going to have.
Yeah,
Isn't it crazy?
yeah, it's weird. It's like this conversation that
Yes,
I don't know if did anybody talk about that after the Bethesda acquisition?
bunch of non-marketing degree people. Who just don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, it's strange. You know, it made people that think you don't need 3 months of marketing to hype a game up. Also,
weird, like Starfield.
Yeah, weird. Who said that? I don't remember.
No, like if Gamescom should replace their showcase, because I feel like Xbox is the only one holding what E3 was still down. Like Jeff is kind of doing it, but like if Xbox pulls out of that, like, or they lower their show like expectations for that, like it's gonna really suck at that time of year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to back up what you're saying, Jasper, like Phil Spencer, when one of his interviews, he dropped E3 and he's like, well, yeah, I mean, I know it's not E3, but like that time of year, you know what I mean? And it's just like they hold that torch. And I think with Gamescom, like it's really funny. The only blue that I saw at Gamescom was that Starfield banner. And that was it. Everything else is green. But the only blue you see is coming from that banner, which that booth is like huge. You know what I mean? But should Xbox replace a show with a different time of year with another show? No. I mean, you did agree they should do what they've been doing. My thing is they need to not take the foot off the pedal. They need to keep going. And it was stated that this is the beginning of the marathon. You know, no pun intended towards Sony or anything like that, but this is the beginning of the baton race. One game to another game to another game. All the way from what it sounds like, all the way through at least 2025, where we just have game after game after game after game after game. And then in between all of those games, we have what drops on Game Pass. We have what comes to GeForce Now. We have what comes to Boostroid. We have what comes to these other services. Maybe, I don't know, Netflix figures it out. I don't know. All I'm saying is it is going to be pretty ridiculous. And as far as Gamescom is concerned, I feel like next year Sony might have a presence. And that's why Xbox should not take the foot off the gas at all.
I will say that one thing about Gamescom is I did like, as someone who usually watches Gamescom, and Xbox is one of the people that usually does have a show, like this year I did feel a little like left out because like I didn't get to watch Xbox's live stream showcase or whatever for Gamescom this year because they didn't have one. They just had show floor like events for days, and it was more for people that were there. So like it's people that can't go there. It's kind of it was a letdown for me personally, but
yeah. It was like awesome though this year at Gamescom seeing the energy back with this huge event in person. This felt like this felt like E3 with what the presence was on the floor, right? With the devs, you had the IGN was doing their dumb thing, you know, where they you know the stage show and they keep doing interviews and all this kind of stuff, which is cool to see, right? You have lots of interviews showing up on social media and Twitter and stuff. Like Phil talked to several different people. Pete Hines did an interview as well. And all this stuff was just coming out, news like rapid fire the last couple of days. And we got some of that with like the new like non-E3 situation going on with the Summer Game Fest. But because there's not this big, huge like event for everybody to mingle and do all these things with, you're missing all these impromptu things that happen. Like like somebody reaching out, hey, can I get an interview with you? And then that showing up like on social media later, or like different gamers covering other games that aren't getting as much of the spotlight now all of a sudden are getting that attention. That's why I brought up like Towerborne and Forza Motorsport, because you're seeing like positive things show up from those games on social media, even though they're not like the star of the show for Gamescom this year. Everybody's still talking about Starfield, even though it's not even there, right? What it seems like is the theater presentation there for Starfield this year was the star of the show for Gamescom, right?
Yeah, from what I saw, yeah.
What people kept saying is like there's like a multiple hour wait to get into the Starfield presentation, and it was just like people made a beeline there right away when the doors would open. It would just be like go directly to Starfield.
Yeah, and to all these leakers out there, can you get a phone from like the 2000s, please? Like I'm tired of watching it at like 144p, like when you sneak record it. Like...
Well, but you know what though? I have a brand new Pixel 7 Pro, and I try to post like 2 gameplay files onto X, and they came out hella trashy. I'm like, what is going on? I don't understand.
It's funny. It's like UFO footage. I
Yeah.
finally got this, and it's like this blurry ass image. Like,
That's what I felt like.
Like someone recorded like the secret Fallout trailer there, and it's like 140p, and you can't even like tell what's going on. It's like, okay, cool.
So
I think X downgraded their video compression or something. Like,
dude,
the
say what you
aspect
wanna-
ratio is off compared to before, and the quality is.
you got to
definitely
subscribe
down.
to X Premium probably to get the better quality.
Oh god,
I'm assuming.
Makes sense.
So, speaking of people leaking things as well, the infamous Starfield leaker that had put out the 45-minute gameplay has been arrested.
Are you serious?
Not for leaking the game.
No.
Oh.
No.
For actually stealing copies of the game from.
We found out how he got them.
Yeah. So it was from a warehouse.
Yeah, he works at a warehouse.
Or something.
Warehouse that he worked. Yep.
So he stole that. It's supposedly even a Constellation edition as well.
Yes, he showed all of it in a video. He had every single copy. He had the regular edition, he had the premium edition, and he had the Constellation edition. He showed them off in the video.
He was trying to sell them on Mercari, I guess.
I need that watch.
So this guy, I mean, first off, what a moron, because supposedly he had his gamer tag on the screen.
He did.
No, he did this to be famous. I'm just saying.
And so he also got arrested for marijuana as well.
Yes.
Was one of the
Which
charges.
Nowadays is kind of stupid.
It depends on what state he lives in, I guess.
Yeah.
You know
I think he was
mean?
in
Like,
Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I mean,
Well, again, he was just a dumb criminal because he went on.
Yeah.
Because when he went on Twitter,
Yeah,
showed
he
his
exposed
face and,
himself,
like,
yeah.
totally.
yeah.
So, like, he's going to be facing multiple charges now that he could have avoided if he just did not post that leaked video.
It also
But
sucks
wanted
for
to
that
be
person that
famous.
pre-ordered that Constellation edition. Now it's not going to get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I gotta say, I
Well,
appreciate the effort that he went to get us all that footage. Those of us that watch, I got a hats off to you, brother.
And I'm not gonna lie to you,
No.
that response video was actually pretty classic. I'm not gonna lie. Like
No
he wanted to
offense,
be
Todd,
famous and-
but that's a good game. It's like,
you know what I'm saying? Straight up. you
He's
know?
just
Yeah.
trying to avoid jail time at that point. Don't, please. You know, it's crazy, man. Like people
That sucks though. Yeah.
Risked it all for.
But he, I mean,
yeah, he did.
Just
Hey,
don't go on
but-
camera next time. Just
but see,
hey, what are you in for? I
Let me-
stole $10,000 worth of video games.
But see,
my
like
God.
let me interject real quick. Like it was said earlier in the chat. I'm not gonna say who said it because I respect this person in the chat. But he said, you know, not everybody is talking about this game. Not everyone is talking about this game. I'm like, somebody really put everything on the line to show all of us what he thought about this game and how good this game actually is. Like, I'm sorry, that's culture. Like, yeah, he got arrested. He got arrested for stupid shit. Say what you want.
The stealing is not culture. Let me
No,
tell
no,
you
that's
that.
still, no, well, depending where you're from, that is culture. But well, that's a different conversation. But anyway, but you know what I'm saying. The fact that he did what he did, like 5-10 years from now, he's gonna be remembered as that guy.
He's going to
You know
be
what I
that
mean?
guy. He's not going to be anyone else.
He's gonna be.
Yeah.
None of us-
But
none of us are
and
gonna
I'm
remember
not
his
saying
name.
it makes I'm not saying it makes what he did right or any of this or that, you know what I'm saying? And if people lost out on Constellation editions, that really sucks. I couldn't afford one, but I really want one. But if people wanted one and couldn't buy one, that sucks. But at the same time, in a gamer sense, what he did was pretty legendary. I'm not gonna lie. And you know, people have done really dumb stuff in the past, but it's made them legendary in the gamer space. And-
Personally, for me, I just gotta say, like, regardless of like how some people see the guy or whatever the motives are or the grasp of fame
like-
or and all that stuff, stealing the fucking games from
Is wrong.
warehouse is fucking
Is wrong.
trash and
Is
you shouldn't,
wrong.
like, just don't do it. And especially if you are that person that would fuck over other people for your own gain and do that,
Be smart enough
Don't
to not expose yourself.
go on social media and post pictures of it, you idiot.
Mav's
Yeah.
just mad because he
Yeah.
didn't watch the leak. That's all.
I don't want to watch that.
Look,
I don't
I'm
care to watch the leak.
and I agree with Mav. I'm not saying like the stealing shit he did was right. That's not what I'm
No.
saying. But what he
I don't
did
even
is pretty
like honestly. I don't even think he'll be remembered that much because like people like back in the day, like people stole like a whole fucking semi truck of GTA stuff. Like it's just a news story that's like, oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
It's like
it's-
no one is gonna be like,
No,
oh, that's that boy that stole fucking Starfield. It's like no one's gonna like care.
Nowadays it's hard because social media has changed it, so news comes and goes
Yeah.
extremely
Yeah, it's
fast.
Well,
guys,
you know,
right?
the kid that was in the what was it, the PlayStation release video that was getting passed around recently, like, well, now that's legendary. Whether
Well,
it's good or bad.
Well, look at the kid
now
who
it's something.
Look at the first kid who did the Game Awards, who got up there with Bill Clinton, blah
but
blah blah.
that
He-
guy
that's
was
more
already
rememberable
He
than-
inspired another one.
But he's right. But he's 5 minutes of fame is over with already.
Yeah.
He did the
Exactly.
rounds, and now everybody's moved on from him.
But we remember it, and that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm
but,
saying?
like, in the-
so,
in the
but
gaming
at the
I
same,
will remember it here. Sure.
But
Yeah,
that guy
That's all I'm
is,
saying.
like is popular within other realms of like
Yes,
social media
yes.
and interview and stuff. And the gaming community,
Sure.
they discovered him for a minute and he's gone.
Yeah.
The Starfield guy that posted the leak, once the game comes out, nobody's gonna give a shit about the leak. Nobody's gonna remember a year from now. Oh, you remember that Starfield leak when that
I
guy?
don't
Nobody's
know,
gonna talk
that-
about it. Like
that little short he posted, I don't know.
And if he
that might come back
inspires-
around sooner or later. I
if
don't
he
know.
inspires other people to do it, that would be a shame. Like,
Well,
to me
and that's what
also,
I don't
like-
want. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing it from two sides. I agree with you. I don't want that. I don't agree with the stealing shit and all of that. I don't agree with the fact that he leaked footage and all of that. But the way he did everything is why I say it might live on. But at the same time, I don't want it to influence anybody else to do the same shit, because even when other people were trying to leak stupid false rumors about the game, I was like, what is going on? What are we doing right now?
The
And
leak
why
is
are-
totally cool with
Yeah,
me.
the
So
leak is fine.
you guys want to
Yeah.
leak? Go.
No,
go,
not-
leak.
no, not that stuff. Like
Yeah.
like what J-Rock and Black Viking have been posting and all of them.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. I'm talking about like the negative stuff that was going on for a couple of days. I was like, what is this? Like, and why is it happening? Come on. we all
Those
come on.
people are always going to just post disingenuous, dumb takes on things to be the contrarians that want to drive negativity towards something that everybody else is excited about. And that is the point of their existence. And it is really all those people are about. And I would hate to live my life that way. I mean, I
Yeah,
would have to
same.
be like, wake up in a fucking horrible, miserable mood all the time, look in the mirror and be like, I'm a piece of shit and I want everybody to feel like me. I'm going to go on Twitter and say something that I don't care about to make other people feel bad.
So-
Like, it's just dumb. These people are moronic. Now, if they have an honest, genuine take about what they see, hey, fine. But like, if it's not for you, you can just like move on and still let other people enjoy it, right? Like, it's just
So there are two messages in the chat back to back. Controller Sports says his review got me to pre-order the premium edition, and then Sappho immediately messaged right after that saying what he did probably sold more copies of Starfield.
Sure.
Yeah.
maybe so.
It was, even though a lot of what he did was wrong.
It could
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
It's like that Post Malone
potentially.
stuff, you
The
know?
stupidest thing that I think, though, it's the fact that they don't release the footage that they show the Gamescom people officially.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah,
that
I
to
agree.
me
There
bothers
is-
the hell out of me.
There is
I
footage that
agree.
did leak
There,
from that
yes,
also.
yes, I watched it today, which is great. But the fact is, why are
Send
you
me a
not
link.
releasing to the general public after games? Why would that not be something that you show everyone? Why only the Gamescom people? Like, release it, let people decide whether or not they want to watch it, and just be and go from there. Like, but to that, why I bring that up is because to Sappho's point, is that stuff does generate hype when people do get to see it, even if some people consider it a leak. Some people don't want to see it at all because it's going to spoil their experience or whatever the case may be. I totally get all that. But the fact is that kind of footage does actually show off the game. And again, the fact is that footage was off of a cell phone, off of a TV, in bad lighting, bad angles, and you could but it was running on a Series X, legitimately running on a Series X, and you could still see the quality. you could still see how great the game actually looked.
Yeah.
You could see how it looked in third person. You could see the shooting mechanics, everything, how awesome it looked, even from that terrible footage. Do it officially. Launch the official stuff that you showed off, because because I watched the leak from the theater of the official showcase that they put on at Gamescom. And a lot of it was the same footage that this guy showed off, because he just basically did the front 45 minutes. Now they cut out some stuff, right? They cut out some
Dialogue
points,
and sped
you know,
it up.
dialogue and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, sped it up and that kind of stuff. But the fact is that does generate hype, and they should understand that. And I just don't understand why. Oh, you got to be at Gamescom to see this footage.
So do you think they may
I agree.
Do you think they may do that? Because there's supposed to be a rumored launch event, right?
Yes.
No, there
as
is.
well.
There is.
Yeah.
I
Have
think
they
it was
officially
confirmed.
announced it? Okay.
I believe it was confirmed. Well, not they didn't do a big like official post or anything, but it was confirmed that is what's going to happen, is a Starfield interactive event is what it, I
Do you
believe it
think
was
we
called.
see more of like just a pure gameplay presentation there too? Like
I think
at
we
the
see
launch
more than
event?
that. I think we're going to get, because the way they described it is this is an interactive experience for Starfield for the launch.
That could,
So
like, with it being interactive though, it could be something like you watch like a video like that. You could watch that same demo, and then you could like go on a website and like put your name in. And they could like send off some stupid plaque on a star, like the Halo did for like the Halo Monument, where you could like put in your name on Bungie's website, and then they would just like generate all the names and put them on like one website. So it's interactive, but it's not like the most interactive thing, you know?
could be.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Hogwarts did something similar where you pick the school and your spirit animal and stuff. So
Yeah.
Can I
So
just say
I'm-
shout out
I'm
to
excited to
250
see.
people out there right now in chat, by the way. 250
Ooh.
people. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
Hit
go.
Ooh.
If you're hyped about Starfield, hit the like button. If you don't hit the like button, it means you hate Starfield.
That's okay. All right.
I'm just kidding. No, I appreciate y'all
And
being
buy
here.
Mav's coffee. And let's get the sub train going, everybody.
Membership
Oh.
train!
So
He only
Kidding, I
reads
don't do that.
super
I'm not that
chats.
guy. I fuck that. Anyway,
like, why didn't I get a copy?
Lord Roughness, I think the launch event is for the official date, not the early access date. But I could be I think it's for the actual like
Didn't
September
they
6th
say it
date.
was? I thought they said it was the 31st. I could be wrong. Though.
I could be wrong. I could
It
be
is the
very wrong.
31st
It-
at 8 p.m. is the launch, and here in
The launch event.
the for series Starfield, it's Eastern 8 o'clock.
No.
on the
No.
server. Whoa,
So
whoa,
what I'm saying is to Lord Roughness is it's not about the early access launch times. What I'm saying is the launch event that Bethesda is planning for Starfield, the actual interactive event, I believe is for September 6th, not August 31st.
yeah. It's gonna be the launch.
Yeah, the actual launch,
really?
yes. Yeah,
Really?
I believe so. Yes.
But
So
it
those of us
actually
that are
makes
doing
sense.
early
Well-
access, we're pretty much beta testing,
Yeah,
which is
because
not bad. I don't care. It's fine.
It actually also the start times for the game is now September 5th at 8 p.m. So
For the US, right?
for the US
Yeah,
Eastern
5
time.
p.m. for me,
Right.
That's
right after
hila-
work.
Yeah.
That's hilarious because that's our first new Fun Pop
Yeah, I know.
episode.
Which
that
I'll be
we're
tuning
gonna
I
in.
was
By the way.
I was thinking about that when you said the date. I was like,
I-
we got
I did-
Fun
I
Pop,
thought-
and it's gonna be Starfield's official.
I had the 6th in my head for Starfield. I didn't think it'd be a problem. We may have to
Rethink that?
rethink
I mean,
that.
we've been playing Starfield
The
a week at that point. It'd be
that's true. We will have been,
But
right?
not
We'll-
everybody's going to be. Who's
If you
gonna
guys-
who's
Hey,
gonna show up in the chat?
everybody get the premium edition of Starfield, so that way you can watch Fun Pop on September the 5th.
They could
That's
also
true,
do
though. That's
a big giveaway thing because AMD is launching their new cards on the 6th, I think. So
True.
they could do
Yes.
like a
Yeah.
giveaway
So-
for all the
God, I want
Starfield
those
cards.
cards.
Starfield,
Oh my
now
God.
Starfield, real quick, man. Starfield did announce. If you go check their website, if you sign up for Constellation, they're giving away 5 Constellation watches.
Mhm.
What was it, each month until October. So if you sign up, you're in the running. And I think you have to sign up. I don't think you have to sign up for the Discord, but I think the Discord is where they have like Easter eggs and things that they're dropping in there to gamers. So check out their Discord.
Psycho, you're not supposed to tell
and-
people they give way more people enter it.
Yeah.
Hey, can somebody break down this AMD news for me, like Jasper?
Hold on,
Oh,
let me just-
the FSR3.
Yeah, so this is it has impacts with Starfield,
yeah,
obviously,
well,
right?
kind of.
It has impacts for everything.
Kind of.
Yeah. So FSR 3 is coming out. The launch date is weird. I've seen the website say the 27th, but the new cards come out on the 6th. And right now, the only supported games are Forspoken and Immortals of Avium for FSR 3.
Oh, yay.
So that's, and it's just basic.
For now.
It's FSR 3
Right,
is just
yeah.
the FSR. It's just the 1.0 or the next step for what we have now. The new tech, frame motion, whatever the fuck it's called, and anti-lag, that stuff launches Q1 24. And those two technologies are unknown if we'll get those on Xbox, but we for sure getting FSR 3, the AI upscaling technology, for sure on Xbox. So
I believe it's similar to NVIDIA's future frame generation.
yeah, it's the same
technology.
thing. It's just AMD.
Yes, that's what
It's-
FSR3 is. Yes.
So super resolution upscaling, AMD fluid motion frames, and anti-lag plus. Definitely like increase. They like a show like Forspoken with
The thing-
ultra. It's 4K ultra high ray
Mhm.
tracing. FSR off is 36 frames, and with it on, it's 122.
Yeah, the thing is though that frame motion shit is going to be so bad because frame generation is bad right now. What it does is it generates fake frames in between real frames. So it takes a real frame and it scans that and it makes a fake frame what it thinks is going to be the next frame. So it causes a bunch of lag and input lag and latency in between. And you can get maybe like 2 or 3 of those fake frames in between real frames. And it's not great, but you get it still feels.
That's why you.
But
That's why you turn on reflex.
That's why
is
you
to
get the
counter that.
anti-lag thing, but still, like, it's really only good if your game's already running at a high frame rate because it can generate more frames off the frames you're generating. If you play a game that's 30 FPS and you turn on frame generation, it's still going to feel like a terrible experience. So
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. Man.
Maybe
Like,
it depends, but it all depends on
it's-
setup too.
Starfield is going to be kind of the show pony for AMD for a while, probably, right? The marketing and all that kind of stuff. So,
Well, yeah, because
see.
this is coming to all consoles. FSR3,
Right.
and then I believe Ally should get the update as well.
yeah, any pretty much any graphics card is going to get native AI upscaling. So that stuff's all going to carry over. The only stuff that's locked down is frame generation and anti-lag. That's only confirmed right now for 7000 series, I believe.
Which is the same on the NVIDIA side, which
Yeah.
is really freaking weird. So, like, let me personally tell you, I have a 3060, right? So if you have a 4000 series cards got DLSS 3, okay? Me, I'm stuck on DLSS 2 point whatever the hell. So there's an update coming soon where I'll get DLSS 3.5, but it still leaves out the
Yeah,
features
you just
of
get the
DLSS
upscaling, you don't
3.
get the frame generation.
It's really weird, but that's what's happening. So I'm going to get DLSS 3.5, but I'm missing features from 3. It's weird. So so it's the same thing on both sides. Yeah.
I honestly, everything you said, I don't understand.
Yeah,
any of
you
this
told me to
shit.
break it down, and
So-
I knew you wouldn't understand it.
So I'm just
Me and Jasper got it.
when the game comes out, I'm just gonna click the boxes you tell me to.
They could still
Oh.
shadow drop Starfield as FSR3 game, like because they're playing it
Yeah.
weird. We'll see.
You're not going to need it for
Yeah,
Starfield.
you
don't
won't
worry.
need it though.
Yeah, as of right now, you won't need it. But what will happen is when the consoles get the update, it's just and whatever games are compatible and whatever games come in the future that become compatible with FSR3 will look better and prettier over time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So other news that came out from Gamescom was this sort of PlayStation console exclusive for a while now, so no longer is PlayStation console exclusive. Now I'm a huge Baldur's Gate 3 fan, right? I love the game. It will be my runner-up probably to game of the year after I play Starfield, and Starfield will most likely take that I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. But for right now, it's Baldur's Gate 3, and I love the game on PC. But they had the whole Series S situation that was holding it back, the parity clause and all that kind of stuff. But Phil did something at Gamescom, and there was almost like Pong and I talked about on PM the PM. You could almost watch this timeline unfold, right? Where he during an IGN interview, he was like going to be meeting with the Larian team. I think they said it's coming out in this year, but they hadn't said it yet. And then he had the meeting, I guess, or whatever. And then lo and behold, Larian makes an official announcement, and then followed by Xbox, that they have come to an agreement with Xbox on I guess, bending the rule for that feature parity clause for the Series S and X that will allow them to launch the game this year on Xbox, minus the split screen on Series S. Now, this has also, while most gamers have been celebrating this and thinking it's awesome that Xbox did bend that rule to make sure that this game comes out, especially for a mode that really hardly anybody is going to play. It seems like the media, in a way, is taking this opportunity to kind of attack Xbox for broken promises on the Series S. Is that justified? Because I've seen IGN, even IGN's Daily Fix today. I saw scrolling through on Twitter, and they called the Series S as for Series Sus. Series Sus, as what they said at the beginning of their Daily Fix. And then they went on to talk about that, and they said, is it going to be a problem going forward? All this stuff. Is this justified concern over one game with this one
I think
mode?
they should do it with more games and take out more modes on other games.
Well, I think the parity clause was more that that a game goes onto both consoles. I don't think they said that it needs to have every single feature that both consoles have. Because
there was a reason. What was the reason then?
Well, Phil said it in an interview at Gamescom.
Because
but like I still don't. There's still something that he had to work out with them to get the game to Xbox. So what is that then? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it could have been just like they thought that they had to have that feature on S, because but the thing is that there's some games that don't get a 60 FPS. So now are you going to hold back that game because it can't get that 60 FPS feature from the Series?
That's different. I think it has to do with modes, like in-game stuff, like technical performance does not count on that kind of stuff.
Well, the thing is that when I said Phil said that at Gamescom, I wasn't talking about that he announced that they figured out how to fix this. What I'm saying is that he said at Gamescom in another interview, literally that that they never made up parity for the consoles. That was the community that did that. He literally said that.
Well,
I watched the video today.
Yeah, he's talking about the dialogue conversation that the community made up. But
so
he was also referencing Forza Motorsport as not being a problem there as far as Forza, where the game that they have control of as far as directing the resources towards what the players play, right? But there's still a reason why Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't going to hit Xbox this year until this announcement was made and Phil met with Larian to do this. And reporters like ones that you trust, like Jez, are saying that they bent this rule, right? There's actually is documentation that in past announcements that announce feature parity between the Series S and X. So that's a reality as far as like the past promise of this. But like my thing is like I don't think anybody actually gives a shit on the series split screen.
You're
Series
taking
S
so
thing.
many different like subgroups in that. Like first of all, you have to have a Series S. That already eliminates all the Series X players, so that's eliminates people. Then you have to play Baldur's Gate. Okay, that's already eliminating people. Then you got to play split screen. So you're already going down 3 different groups of individuals. It's like who the fuck cares? You're like 5 people.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I'm not understanding 100% the backlash that they're getting from the media about this.
Because it's
instead,
it's the low hanging fruit to pick on. Like,
right.
they're not going to focus on the positive that the game is coming this year. That would be the positive. Hey, more people get to play the game. No, we're going to pick the low hanging fruit. Oh, well, it couldn't hang, so now you had to bend the rules to make it work. No, it's just I'm curious. I'm really curious how many people use split screen in this day and age. Like, I can understand like couch co-op for beat 'em ups, fighting games, things like that, maybe even platformers.
Like Street of Rage and
split-
things like that.
Yeah.
That I
But-
understand because that's
but a split screen on like a CRPG or even on a racing game, I really like, I don't know. It feels weird at this point.
Yeah. The whole argument of is it a game mode? Is it a feature? I don't really care about that.
It's something that could be patched later. Like,
but at the same time, like for me, I look at it this way, right? Maybe 5 people that were planning on playing split screen on the
And it
Series
sucks
S,
because it's an odd number, so one person's automatically
and
getting left out of split screen.
well, no, I'm saying 5 people,
I know.
whoever like would have actually played this in split screen in the first place, which I've made that argument before. But like, I made that number. Whoever is planning on playing, right? Now, millions more are going to get to play this game on Xbox this year that didn't ever give a shit about split screen, right? And the fact is, probably most people.
I mean,
never
I
even
said
knew
they
this
should have
game.
done this back for Halo Infinite. Like, I was saying that for Halo Infinite, they should have dropped it off on the Series S. Like, if you can't do it on Series S, put it on the Xbox Series X only.
Right. So would that be like, I kind of agree with you, Jasper. Like, so not every game necessarily has to be feature parity proof across both consoles for every mode, right? Like,
I bought a Series S. I know what I paid for. Like, that's the argument. Like, I'm not expecting Series X power because I didn't buy a Series X. I bought a Series S.
And that's the thing. Like,
Oh,
I don't.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I just don't remember them coming out and said that they have to have every single feature and mode on both consoles. I don't remember them ever announcing that.
IGN and Steven Totillo posted like documentation about that actual rule and stuff. That they're attacking Xbox hard on this because they see it as like a broken promise, right? And
but is it though?
Well, according to, I mean, you could say it's maybe one that nobody ever gave a shit about in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Nobody was thinking about split screen until Larian said.
No one even knew that fucking it had split screen in it.
I know.
Nobody even knew past Forzas had split screen.
Well, that's the thing. Like this could have been just an implementation for having, you know, like multiplayer and other modes that are necessary to have, but something like a split screen might not have been necessarily what they were using it for. So that, you know, so like the Series S, you can't have not have like the multiplayer on that, and then so now you left a whole group of people that are playing on the Series S and like, oh, we don't get multiplayer. But
I honestly think that you could cut out the if you make a game and
multiplayer though.
If you make a game and you can only have campaign or multiplayer, like on Series S, like you cut out the campaign. I'm totally fine with that too, because that's what they did for the 360 Xbox One generations. Call of Duties and other games are cutting off the campaign and only putting the multiplayer in it.
But so here's the thing. I don't think we're ever going to have an extreme situation like that. Like what I think happened here is they realized that their clause that they had that they were enforcing was maybe a little too strict, and they learned from this experience, because this one little tiny mode that like nobody's going to play is keeping a game of the year candidate off of the console this year. So like as Phil said in that same interview, it's like it's a learning experience for them too, hence going and bending their rule for this game, maybe but completely amending it and changing it for other developers in the future as well, or a case-by-case basis type situation or scenario, right? Like, but I don't understand the attacking from the media towards Xbox over this. As far as this game goes, right? Now, if you want to say you're concerned that they're just going to start cutting modes out of every game because the Series S is trash, whatever, I don't think anything has shown that yet. You know, like What has shown that to be a factual piece of information? The only thing we have to look at here is Baldur's Gate 3, and it was with one specific game mode that is very CPU RAM heavy, whatever, because of the actual split screen running the game twice in the same system. So, and it's a huge open like environment type game. Like there's reasons why, and it wasn't also Larian never said they can't do it.
I'm pretty sure they also said they're still working on it too.
Right. Yeah. It was going to happen eventually, right? But Xbox didn't want PlayStation to have this game this year as a timed, thought of exclusive being used for console war fodder and all this stuff against them because of the Series S parity clause or whatever. And I applaud them for making the move, because guess what? Xbox gamers win for this, because you get a Game of the Year candidate coming to Xbox this year now, which you did not have to think of just the other day until they made this move. And if you were only wanted to play this game in split screen co-op and you have a Series S, I'm sorry, but way more people win here than the couple that might lose.
And I don't know why we're treating the Series S and X as the same device. They're two different devices with two different power levels. I think that
that's because that was their selling
I know
point. That it's that's why. Pong, you're extremely silent here and you keep shaking your head, so I gotta hear.
Oh no, I'm in chat right now. So
okay,
I would mess around in chat. No, I mean overall, I mean again, like I said from the beginning, when we first talked about this map, I said I would do this, right? And I would take the hit up front and just move on. You're going to take a hit because of your marketing. Yeah. You're going to take a hit because of how you sold these two consoles in the beginning of the generation. And it's a hit that's kind of deserved. Whether it was poor foresight on Microsoft's part that they didn't see some of the issues, right? Or whatever the case may be, it is what it is at this point. There's no changing it, right? There's no going back and redoing. So you've got to take the hits where necessary. It is. It's something, again, you can learn from. It's not every developer who has a problem. There's some people who make it seem like every developer is just absolutely hating on the S. We know that's not true, right? There's plenty of high quality games that have come out just perfectly fine on the Series S and the X with all parity included. We've just seen a few examples here and there. We've seen some devs say some questionable things and then 30 to 60 days later have a patch that magically the Series S now is performing, right? So it's kind of just the overall theme of its overall theme around the S since this generation started, because there was a whole group of people who loudly yelled from the top of the rooftops that the S was going to be the downfall of this generation, that this was the absolute worst device ever created. And my God, what are you doing, Xbox, right? And then there was another segment who said there's going to be no issues whatsoever. The S is just fine. All these devs can simply just, pare down the quality and on the resolution, and with all the tools coming out, everything's going to be fine, right? So we had these two extremes, right? And we're kind of finding out it's somewhere in the middle now.
And meanwhile, games don't even work on the Series X, like Jedi.
Correct. We got a lot of issues, and we got a lot of issues across the board. It's not just Xbox. We've seen poor performing stuff on PlayStation as well. And it seems like a lot, the newer engines like Unreal Engine 5 is giving devs problem when it comes to these consoles. So whatever the case may be, it is just what it is. You got to take your hit, you got to take your lumps, you got to do what's best for your consumers at this point. Now, I can hear the argument. Yeah, that doesn't mean you take away features from one. That's not the best for your consumers. Okay, but I will say that features, there are different priority features. Like there are different ones. And when it comes to split screen on this type of game, like Fuzzy was saying, I gotta say, you probably, Phil said it, they know the numbers internally on all their own games, how many people play split screen. You got to judge it differently than certain other features. And you can say, no, we need to go ahead and make this exception here, because what's better for our consumers is having one of the best games of the years, potentially a generational type game coming out roughly around the same time as everybody else can play it. That's more.
And you could
important to
argue
the
that they
consumer
already do that
than your
now
brand.
with 60
Correct.
and 30. Like more games are
Correct.
60 on
60.
X than
Correct. Absolutely, Jasper. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. You're going to make exceptions all the time when you have a lower powered console. It is just what it is. So I think this was the right call. They, again, whether or not you want to say all these articles and all these people making a giant deal out of this is worthy or not, okay, well, whatever. We know how this goes. This is now 2023. This is always going to be a firestorm, especially when it's around Xbox. It's always going to be amplified. It's always going to be on a different level. But overall, Xbox made the right decision. Phil made the right decision, made the call, and said, just get this game out, because it is a game of the year contender. It is, again, a game that overall, for the vast majority, 99.9% of players, they would rather have this available to play this year than to wait for a potential feature that they are never going to use.
Yeah.
But that's period, point blank. That's where I stand.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah, well said, bro. We got a $10 super chat from Alvin. Appreciate you. Alvin says, I think in the internet age, aka the receipts age, people get way too caught up in holding everyone to what they said. Times change, perspectives change. Shrug and move on. It's not worth the rage.
No, you got to stay with your opinions for life. You can't change.
Yeah, for sure. 3 years later, better say the same thing you said 3 years ago, or we're gonna come and get you. You remember like that gotcha moments, caught in 4K, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what it seems like they're trying to do to Xbox.
Let me say this final thing, point two, because this is the until there's a dev that comes out that absolutely says 100% my game cannot be put on the Series S, it will not run on that system. That would be the line where I'd say, okay, now we've got a massive problem. But for the time being, the games all are showing up on both systems.
Yeah.
And again, I don't ever see it happening, because again, we've had tech. We got tech people on this panel. We have devs on this panel from time to time when 3-bit decides to show up. We've all talked about this and said that that's never going to be a foreseeable issue, because the S is technically powered than low spec CPU or computers, PCs, that these devs are still making games for to this day. So until comes that point, to me, this is a non-issue. You buy a lower price console, you buy a console that is less than what the top performing consoles are. You know what you're getting with that price point. It is to be expected there are going to be differences between the two, but I don't see a point this generation where that happens.
And the Series S is going to get even better with FSR3 launching.
Correct.
So
as long as they start using that stuff, exactly.
Yes. Agreed.
So speaking of that, Armored Core 6 proves to a lot of people actually how quality that
game can run on a potato. So
yeah, well, it's 1440 60 on Series S, 4K 60 on Series X, I believe. Does it have a 120 mode, Pong?
Not on console. It's
Okay,
only on PC. 120 is only on PC.
Right.
Yep.
So 1440 60 for a brand new, high quality title, right, from Software, running like a dream on both Series S and Series X. But that's also leave it to the talent of From Software to showcase the game. Any last thoughts on that for you, Fuzz?
As far as like with the whole split screen thing, I could care less overall. But when it comes to things like Armor Core and other games, it just seems like certain devs take more care into making sure that their work is complete and up to par on both systems without much problem. Some of them that may not be as familiar with the Xbox, dev kits, it seems like they run into a little bit of an issue. I guess the one thing I really wish, especially if there's a marketing deal in place, and even when there aren't marketing deals in place, it's almost like some of the engineers that they have on their team or within their walls, every now and then send them over to the studios and kind of, and not really enlighten them, but at least get them familiar with the stuff, get them up to speed, especially if they have the marketing deal, just for the fact that this is going to be a game you push. you don't want any issues. I mean, look at what Sony did with
Yeah, but I
Callisto
think
Protocol.
that's a bad path to go down because eventually you just be making games for fucking studios because they can't make their own games. Like,
I don't think you get to the point where you're making the games for them, but it's when you have new hardware that was later to devs' hands in comparison, you need to make some adjustments to be able to get them up to speed. Now, if we're talking 3 years from now and they're still having trouble, then you may want to review those relationships with those companies as far as what are they doing, why aren't they retaining some of the info and things along those lines. But I think in the grand scheme of things, some of this stuff is just weird arguments. Like I know when it comes to PlayStation changing their mind or changing what they initially list, it kind of goes over most of the gaming media's head. Like we all remember how there was a pushback for, Forbidden West being, with the upgrade potential. If you buy it on your PS4, you'd be able to upgrade. Well, because they did the delay, they were like, oh no. And then enough people pushed back, but they didn't push back for GT7. They didn't push back for God of War because those were originally supposed to be within that window as well. But it is what it is. Gaming media has selective memory, and if it's Xbox, they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. Oh, it's a limited time console exclusive without PlayStation having to lift a finger. All right, we took away the split screen need. Oh, well, this is the beginning of the end because of the split screen. It's like, what is it going to be tomorrow? Like, are they going to start focusing again on how, the PlayStation version of Starfield was canceled? Xbox's gain is PlayStation's loss, or they'll just come up with like random titles for just nonsense. And I've kind of tuned most of it out, but it just seems like, oh yeah, I'll make a mental note of that when they focus on this. But then
I think
when the
tomorrow's
battery
headline
life,
is
they don't even.
tomorrow's
Well, they
headline
don't
is
even
probably like Xbox is arresting fans or some shit.
Well, yeah, that I could see them doing
Right.
something along those lines, but they won't focus on the battery life not even being a listed feature or actual numbers for the battery life for that project PlayStation Portal.
Yeah.
Does it come with a case? Or is this thing going to be, you just hope that you don't break off the ends of the controller and stuff? I mean,
PlayStation pointless.
yeah, exactly. But it's just some of the things that the media focuses on seems like they're overly concerned when it's Xbox, but if it's PlayStation, no, they know what they're doing. No worries. It's
Would
like,
this have
come on.
made, if this was the tables, like your point, if the tables had been turned on this, would there be this like media making
No one would
these
even
No,
talk.
the media spin would be, this is why you buy the main PS5.
or celebrating the fact that PlayStation gamers would be finally getting the game
Yeah.
after questions, right? Which is my main takeaway. Like for me, like the headline is Xbox gamers get Baldur's Gate 3 in 2023, right? That is huge because that is whatever. That's the news, right? That's the main news of this. Like, and I get that Xbox screwed up before, they didn't understand that potential problems in the future. They're bending the rule now. So, you know what? Oh, gotcha moment. You got to make special circumstances for certain games and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I get that. But that's not the major news here, right? The major news here is millions of Xbox gamers will now be able to play one of the best games of the year this year. That's the big news, right? And when some of the big media doesn't even really tackle that too much, or like talk about how awesome that is for
But
Xbox
what about this
gamers,
what if scenario where all these other devs are going to be pissed off because they can't cut out a feature?
It's doomsday hypotheticals for the future of what the Series S is going to do to gamers that buy it, right? It's like, beware, Xbox Series sus, right? What kind of notion does that put in the heads of people that might go buy a Series S? Like, my game's not going to be right when I buy this now. Now, part of that could be to blame from the messaging from Xbox, but like calling something like an Xbox Series sus on your daily fix video, that's a little bit like much for me in this situation. Right.
I want to see the equivalent of the PlayStation Porta Potty, or Dusty said, the PlayStation Pointless. Like you will never see that from IGN or Push Square or any of them. So
yeah,
you know what?
IGN probably read a fucking article saying it's native play on the fucking PlayStation Q or whatever the fuck it's called. It's like, no, it's not. It's you stream it, bro. It's like.
You know what is sus is IGN accidentally leaving out Xbox on numerous games recently all the time.
All week after they've been called out and keep getting called out.
And the crazier part on top of that is them and 2 other channels are touting that you can use this portal device away from your home, but nobody else has confirmed that. And the one person who tried failed.
It's in the official PlayStation thing that you can. But
has anyone actually done it?
Is it out yet?
Only with what do you call them? The previous remote play protocols, which the whole remote play protocol, just to put this out there, it's BS on PlayStation because you can't use a cellular network to be able to do it, but with Xbox you can. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, you got on your cell phone, have a signal, call your Xbox, and you can play whatever's on the hard drive or whatever is on Game Pass.
It says you need to have a high quality Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to be on the same Wi-Fi is what it says, but you have to have a high quality Wi-Fi connection. And which I think we got that wrong last night on the show, but like there was more stuff that came out where it was clarified. But the issue is that if you're using other places Wi-Fi, it's gonna be a problem. Now hotspots, if you have a hotspot on your cell phone, may do the trick, because a lot of people have 5G now and hotspots can be pretty damn good. But you got to turn on your hotspots and you got to use that, and it's like at that point it's like I don't know, is it worth it? Is that going to be your go-to gaming device on the go? I still think if you want to have a remote play cloud streaming device that you can take on the go for a little bit more money, just buy the G Cloud.
Yeah,
right.
Agreed.
So you can use that in way more situations, right?
This device is not a $200 device. It's a $400 device. Your Bluetooth headsets that work with your PS5 do not work with this device. You need freaking earbuds that cost $200 more. So everybody needs to stop kidding themselves and saying, "Oh, it's $200." It's not. It's $400, and it's a cash grab.
Unless you use a wired head.
And who's really going to want to do that unless that's your last resort? Hey, exactly. Like, here's my thing. Unless you have no other choice, that's when you use a wired headset. But today, in almost 2024, your average consumer that would even be interested in a device like this is going to use a wired headset.
Yeah. And, there's lots of other devices you can get that are better from there. But anyway, for your house,
yeah, your phone.
If this was like $100, maybe, I don't know, 100.
Not even 100. No. I tweeted the other day, this thing should be $50 for what it doesn't have, not $50 for what it is. $50 for what it's missing. This is ridiculous. When you have the Steam Deck, the Ally, the G Cloud, all of that.
How much was a Wii U gamepad back in the day?
I don't know.
Oh man!
But PlayStation would be paying the users who want this thing to actually use it, because like no one gives a shit about this. They need to just pay people to take it off their hands at this point. It's like,
oh my god!
The only person I know that actually wants it is my boy Game Tech Planet, but that's because he wants to review it, and that's it. It's not to actually want it; it's just to review it.
We'll see. We'll see how it does. It is a little bit of a cash grab thing, I think.
A lot of it.
We'll see how it does that with the headphones, all that stuff. But maybe they'll get to play Wolverine in 2024. You guys think? No, just kidding. We're not going to
2025.
2025. But anyway, yeah. Man, Xbox can't stop us now. They are rolling, and they're going to have so many games coming out the next couple of years. You're not going to be able to stop the train.
Wouldn't know. IGN doesn't tell me.
Yeah, Game Pass, that value is exponential. It is going to keep growing. That is the magic thing about Game Pass that doesn't get talked about enough. As the first party catalog grows, so does your value of Game Pass and what you're paying for your subscription, right? So it's going to be amazing to see these next couple years. And like Pong said earlier, this marks Starfield launch, the hype that we're feeling now, the excitement that we have leading up to 6 days away, when we get to play Starfield, after years of talking about it, thinking about it, wondering what it could be, now seeing what it is, on all these presentations, the gauntlet's been laid. The industry is going to be pushed forward by this game, and the value of Game Pass is going to grow then, and it'll continue to grow with every single release. With next Forza Motorsport, then following early quarter 1 2024, you got Stalker 2. Then we'll have Towerborne. We'll have Flight Sim again next year. You'll have Hellblade 2 maybe next year. It's just going to be absolutely insane. But that's going to do it for this show. But I do have one more super chat to get to from the one and only most consistent Xbot Click, Vic the Click. Thank you with the $5 super chat. Says, have an amazing episode. I just got to the club, so we'll finish this later. Pong, my next name will be Outer Space Fire Vic. Let's go, Vic.
I told him he's killing me. He's killing me with these.
I know,
names.
you couldn't even say it last
Yeah.
night.
I know.
Yeah.
You heard what I was saying because he does this. Ah, man, it was bad
Yeah.
last night.
But I do want to thank our special guest, Dusty Uno, for being on the show tonight. It was great having you here. Sorry about the trouble getting started, and thanks for battling through that with us. But make sure that this chat and everybody knows where they can find your podcast.
So if you guys see me in the chat, the name is the Dusty Uno. Please subscribe to that channel, where you can find G-Wave TV. And on Wednesdays, we go with the POG podcast, Players of Gaming, where I invite different people from the gaming community and podcast realm to join me for some good conversation. And a little bit of a one-on-one interview or one-on-two, depending on how many guests I have. This Wednesday, though, I will be having Mav back, since we couldn't do this past Wednesday, as well as Ham Solo from TSWS Gaming. So that should be a really good, fun episode. And then, as always, if you're a podcaster, please DM me anytime. Let me know when you'd like to be a guest. I'm very open, as long as you like talking gaming and being a little bit messy and slanderous here and there. I'm all for it. But yeah, the Dusty Uno is pretty much the name that you can find me on all platforms: X, Twitter, Threads, Instagram. I don't really post my Instagram, but that was something I was going to say earlier. X, like with posting videos and stuff, Threads is so much better at that, but nobody's using Threads. So it's kind of like it fights itself. It's weird. But if you want to post, stuff online and have it come out looking pretty, Threads is the place. I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, like, you can just find me every Wednesday at the Dusty Uno, running G-Wave TV. And you can also find me in the chat watching Fun Speculation, Infinite Umbra, Boom, Fuzzy, Jas, like whoever, like talking to Psychonauts in the chat, whatever I got to do. That's where you can find me.
Right on, man. I appreciate you being here, dude. And
I appreciate you for inviting me. Not to cut you off, I appreciate you for inviting me. Honestly, like I said at the beginning, this was a bucket list moment for me. And I, not gonna lie, however I sounded when I was talking, I was completely nervous through the whole show because for me, I'm the new kid on the block, so to speak. And this, I want to be good at this. I want to be successful at this. And I know I'm going to have bad takes here and there and good takes here and there. So for me, it's just every opportunity I get, I really do take it with everything that I have, because it has been a long time coming for me, dealing with a lot of things, with me and my wife over the past couple of years. So being back doing this, like, even my wife is proud of me. It just feels nice. Yeah, so awesome, to finally be here with you guys, it's, like I said, it's a bucket list moment. Pong, listening to you spit, that knowledge that you always spit, like, I'm just so glad I got to finally hear that in person, so to speak.
It's so annoying how good he is at that, isn't it? It's like,
no, when Pong goes off, it's just
all fake.
It's golden.
He talks
so
for
annoying.
12 hours a week on shows. It's like, we've heard enough of this guy.
Yeah, I know, right? Just wait till you hear his outro. Jeez,
man, I'm on every day on every show known to man. But no, I really do love it. Fuzzy, same thing. Psychonauts, like, it's crazy because I've seen Psychonauts podcast before, but I didn't realize that was Psychonauts. Like, I didn't see the name, because sometimes I'm watching on my phone. So it just, realizing like that was somebody I also enjoyed watching too. And I finally got to podcast with him. Jasper, always a great time podcasting with you. Like now I think this is like our second time. Like, I want to keep that energy going with everybody. I don't mean to go on too long about this. It's
no, you're cool, man.
Like I said, I'm the new kid, and I feel like this has been like Hanukkah for me, where every day I don't know what's going to happen, but it's been a gift. And it's a gift that I've been able to hold on to and let it inspire me to hopefully be better at what I'm doing on my show. So thank you guys so much. Man. I just wanted to get that out. So,
and just any, if I have the right or to give any advice, it's just have fun. Right.
Yeah. I have been.
That's what this is. This is what this is all about I think for everybody here. Right. Like, just talking about the stuff we love to talk about, making friends and hanging out. It's video games of passion. It's about finding the people that we've been looking for our whole lives that share the same amount of passion that we have for this hobby. And we've finally found them, like, with this community.
The easiest way I think about it is just like, think of it as like an Xbox party chat with like your buddies. Like, that's kind of what it is. And then every now and then you 100%. See a comment from the chat and you can talk about that. It's like,
and you'll get interrupted from Jasper occasionally with an actual moment.
All the time. And just being yourself. Just continue to be yourself, Dusty.
That's you're great, man. You're great, and you got a good voice, and you got knowledge and everything. So you got what it takes, dude.
Thank you.
Keep it up, bro, and have fun with it.
I will admit I was doing YouTube at first for the wrong reasons. I'm one of those people, and it took me a couple of years of going through some hard times to realize if I want to come back to this, I just want to have fun. And after everything I experienced, like I said, where I am today right now, I am having fun. Like, I see a few subscribers coming here and there, likes and stuff, and it's all great, but I kind of check that shit like a couple of days later, because I'm just like, man, I'm so glad I did that episode with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and I get to do this and this. So for me, it is just pure fun now. And I'm glad I get to have that fun with the people I've been watching since lockdown. So thank you guys.
OCD Gamer says he expects a 2 a.m. stream tonight. I don't know. We'll see. My wife. We'll see if Kate lets me do another Starfield stream tonight. I'll
be dancing at the club, but I'll put my phone on. Yeah.
Psycho bro, thanks for being here as always, dude. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Chat, thanks for coming out. It's always an amazing time being with you guys, and Dusty. Awesome to have you on. You're doing a great job. Just keep it up. Keep your head up. Don't listen to the noise. Fuck the haters, and keep grinding, brother. And find me on social media everywhere. Psychonauts 8. You can find me banging my neighbor's wife a little bit here and there. And
God, why?
We don't need it.
Why?
Oh, she needs it.
How do you know? How do you? Maybe you don't gotta go
knocking at my window, bro.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll see. Maybe so.
Thanks.
Are you sure she's not just running from like the alligators trying to like get safety in Florida?
No, there's no water near me.
Yeah, I'm actually
once that anaconda though. That's what she's running to.
I'm a little happy you weren't there for our live stream of opening night live.
I was listening.
The anaconda.
I was listening to it. I was at GameStop going, just saying what you think I was gonna say during my shift.
Pong had you covered in the chat too. Anyway, Fuzzy Belvedere, where can everybody find you, bro?
Once again, want to thank you for having me on. It was awesome being on here with Dusty and the rest of the family. Always enjoy this on Friday nights. Sorry for the slow start, but yeah, we definitely got this in. Awesome time, just BSing about Starfield, which, man, was it like 5 or 6 days now before we get to play? So
sir,
it's like Christmas for me. It's or Christmas Eve, where the stuff's under the tree. You may have peeked at one of the packages and now you wrapped it back up, but you can't sleep. So it's just that kind of energy right now. But thanks for everybody in the chat. Thanks for you guys coming out to watch us and jumping from stream to stream today. But greatly appreciate all the time you guys spent with us today and interacting with us. For those that want to hear my rambles and rants, you know where to find me. The app formerly known as Twitter at @fuzzy_belvedere. You can also find me on the Shop Podcast tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on PTK Blam's channel. Monday on Double Barrel Gaming for Xbox Lunch Break Special. And then later that evening for FSP right here on this network on Fun Speculations channel. Look forward to seeing you guys there.
Right on, Fuzz. Appreciate you, bro. Jasper, where can everybody find you, sir?
Yeah. I just want to shout out the people that were in my stream the other night. I don't know why. That was just like a super fun stream, like just talking random shit. And I'm kind of thinking of just about doing that like once a week. So we'll see.
Yes.
Nice.
Do it, Jasper. It's fun, right?
Yeah. But anyway, yo, check it out. It's Lord Jasper Twitter or Lord Master Jasper YouTube. All that fun stuff. And then it's Monday, Friday, 10 o'clock right here on the Fun Speculation Network with Xbox Ultimate and FSP.
As
Right
a hip hop
on.
dancer, I really appreciate that outro. Oh my
Yo. All right. And
I just originally did it for like the stupid meme because like who the fuck says yo. It's like stuck with me.
It works for you so well.
it does.
Perfect.
It gets so unexpected. Speaking of Jasper and Psycho, before Pong does his long ass thing, excited that we're gonna be bringing Fun Pop back with you guys, and 3-bit. Tuesday, September 5th will be our first show back with Fun Pop.
Nice.
After a year and like 3 months without having a Fun Pop show. So look forward to bringing that show back, and it'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern time. And thank you guys for wanting to do that too.
If
So
you talk Star Wars, let me know.
yeah, well, there'll be Star Wars talk.
Oh
The Encyclopedia of Gaming, dating back to the very first game ever created, Pong Soul.
Listen, first time here, and Dusty makes history because he is the first person ever to have a longer outro than me. This is freaking an amazing night. And I saw Riskit pointing it out. This is absolutely amazing night. Congratulations, Dusty. Right? You are a record setter. Okay. You made history. So thank you for that. Listen, no, Dusty, it was great. Appreciate you coming on, man. Love to hear your thoughts. Keep doing what you're doing. Great to have you back in the community, man. So just fantastic night here with us. And of course, all the rest of the panel, all my brothers here. Just another incredible Friday night. Again, lots of laughs. We had new people show up in the chat. Shout out to Bobby Hawk out here doing a little bit of trolling, but came through with some good stuff in the chat as well. Always great to see the new people out there, but all of chat, you guys were on fire tonight. Great conversations, lots of laughs in there as well, which is what we love to see because we're having fun. And even though the show didn't start on time, you still came out here, over 200 people, almost 250. Absolutely incredible. So thank you all. Nothing but love and respect as always. Listen, you guys know the drill. Pong Soul on Xbox, Pong Soul on the X, formerly known as Twitter. You know that. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start you off right. My brother from another Steel Rain, he's got his last week where he can try to convince people that Armored Core 6 is game of the year before Starfield.
Dude, he gave me
right?
FOMO.
That's right. That's right. But he's going to be there tomorrow morning trying to convince you yet again that Armored Core 6 is game of the year. But next week, we know what happens. Next week, Starfield drops, and it all changes. But come by Living Split Screen tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Split Screen's all one word. Mission 1K is a success. We are now still on our mission. So please tell a friend, bring a friend tomorrow morning, 3+ hours. Buckle up. We're going to have big opinions there. And then, of course, actually, I'm going to have another show tomorrow. So you're gonna get an extra. Saturday is gonna be busy for me. So, but that hasn't been announced yet. I'll let that happen, but obviously I'll tweet that out. But look for me prior to the shop, just prior to the shop. And then of course the shop happens. It's Fuzzy Belvedere, but it's PTK Blam's channel, along with Fuzzy, myself, and tomorrow night Slow-Mo Backslap will be there. It's gonna be a fantastic show. Best way to end your Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. Be there, please. Please. Next week starts all over again. Tuesdays, Double Barrel Gaming. Mr. Boomstick is the man 5 days a week, but Xbox Factor podcast every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. All good things green on Tuesdays. You got to be there. Thursday night, be back here, Fun Speculation Network, PM in the PM, Pong and Mav in the PM for a special 1 hour show. That's right, 1 hour. Why 1 hour? Because we're going to the stars, baby. Right after that, we're going to lead in with a special Starfield early access launch show. And then we're both probably going to be streaming. I know for a fact, Mav is. I might be over in Living Split Screen as well. We'll see how that works out. But Starfield next week, be there for PM in the PM. Right back here Friday night. Maybe I'll just happen to be missing next Friday night because Starfield, I don't know, maybe I just won't come at all. I don't know. We'll see. But no, I will be here next week for Xbox Ultimate. Going to have a lot to talk about. Obviously, Starfield. Anyways, folks, It's the golden age of gaming. Get out there, play what you love what you play. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Talk to you all real soon. Matt,
and Pong just took the record back.
Yeah, he did. I think so.
I did not. Nope, I did not. I timed it. No, Dusty still got me by at least 4 minutes because he continued the conversation after you started again, Matt. So that all counts.
Maybe you're right.
I'm so sorry.
Everybody,
It's
remember to get your Starfield installed. Right,
English,
so,
man. English.
Yeah. Hey, you're one to talk, motherfucker. Okay, right? All right. Psycho.
It's my edibles that make me not speak very well.
Yeah, everybody
always blame the drugs. Who puts them in your mouth? You.
Yeah.
Because it tastes so
good.
This is gonna make me such a dumbass later on. All right. Everybody, don't forget to get your Starfield installed. Don't be the guy that's like, "Oh no, fuck." I've done that plenty of times. Right, 3-bit.
How do I install it? I bought it like 2 days ago.
But yeah, this will be. We'll have one more show.
I'm a dev. How do I do this?
I've never worked on this feature before.
This install thing is weird. Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, that's right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but everybody, I appreciate you being here. We'll have one more show before launch day, which will be Monday's Fun Speculation Podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So who knows what there will be to talk about? Hopefully some fun stuff. So tune in then. And remember, Portillo sucks ass. Have a great night, everybody. Jasper, I don't know if you need to
Have loves wieners.
It's gonna be a hard ending here, so it's just gonna be straight.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, it's hard.